Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading for October 26th through November 1st. Try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And immediately into a 10 of Pentacles. Wow, this is great. This is legacy. This is generational wealth. This is financial freedom. Okay? This is your best life. This is everything. This is your pets, your plants, your people. This is your dream come true. This is your big rock candy mountain, your emerald city. I feel like you're somebody who really has been working hard toward very specific goals. Okay? This is the card of really like being able to see the future, to see what it is that you're building, to see your life down the road, right? Who you are, where you are, what you're doing, maybe 6 months from now, a year from now, 10 years from now. Long-term goals, but also medium-term and short-term as well. You could see the steps sort of to get there, yeah. This is a card of financial abundance and, well, long-term stability, long-term security. Your goals are about to pay off. I mean, your work is about to be achieved, to be accomplished. Okay, long-term goal, I think, finally paying off. Let's put this card into a little bit of context. See what else we got this week. Okay, we have a Princess of Swords, so some learning energy, some refinement, some good routines and habits, but also maybe some bad habits too. A little bit of overthinking, perhaps. We have a Two of Wands, very strong energy. And a Three of Pentacles, more of this kind of working toward our goals and seeing the progress that's happening. This is going to be a very productive and very successful week, even if there is a little bit of hermit mode going on. But a Six of Cups as well, so not too much hermit mode, right? This is a card of family, community, connections, resonance, consonance, really, right? Resonating with others. And we got a leveling up going on here with the Eon card. And we have a Prince of Pentacles, the builder, the one who's continuing to build that future vision, that city, that big rock candy mountain, that emerald city of yours, your good life. I feel like you're going to continue to build and build and build. Yeah. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And we're going to set it down right over here with Tiny Bob Ross right on top. Now, we're not going to look at that happy little card until the very end. It will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments below the video, all right? Now let's take a look around the room here. We see 1, 2 majors. We see fire. We see water. We see a couple of air cards, and then it's earth and earth and earth and earth, all right? So first of all, since we have such an abundance of the earth energy, the pentacles, the discs, right? These cards are showing how you are building, how you're earning, how you're sustaining what matters most in your life. They're cards that represent your health, your home, your money, and steady progress, right? Health and wealth, fitness and finances, okay? So I feel like this is something in the concrete world. Now, it doesn't have to be your job. It could be something at school, at home, at work. It could be your creative work. It could be your exercise, I don't know. It could be literally anything, but it's what you're burning calories doing, which means to me the work you're doing in the physical realm. And I think there is obviously an emotional component to it. And there seems to be a mental component to it as well. There seems to be like some new information that you're going to be learning and some new skills that you might be developing. Okay, so let's start with our wonderful, wonderful 10 of Pentacles. Because again, this is your long-term goals finally paying off. I feel like you've got a lot of support from family, friends, community. Okay, I feel like you have a lot of a really strong support system. I feel like whatever you're doing is bringing you long-term stability, whether this is partly like investing in something or saving your resources. Okay, there's kind of a stability in something that you're building up here. This is a good week also to celebrate what you've been building because it is real, it is solid, and it is lasting. But continue to plan wisely for the future. For you down the road and for family or generations or even future projects like, I don't know, you're saving money and there's a lot of projects you want to do around the house or something, upgrades or something, yeah? So just plan those out and sort of see how everything is being built up piece by piece, right? And stay humble, of course. I think that's some really good energy here. Share your prosperity. Your security and your success right now feel very satisfying and definitely well deserved. Okay, this is that image of your best life, and I think you keep this in mind, and you see this in high def, like you could see the bubbles on the wallpaper and the fibers of the shag carpet, you know, and so it's important that you stay very specific. It's not just I want to save some money for some repair on the house later. No, like I want to save this exact amount of money for this exact project. Go and get the estimates, get the quotes, like get everything as detailed as possible. That's really, wow. You guys, this is going to be the best reading of all time. I know it already. The cards you have, there's not a challenging card here. The Eight of Swords is in the background. This is already fading away, that overthinking. And it could be doubt. It could be the complexity. What you have here is curiosity, Princess of Swords. So a very good week for asking questions, being brave, being curious. Don't let your pride get in the way to where, like, you're not going to ask the questions because, like, you kind of feel like, well, I should already know the answer, so I'm just going to pretend I already know. No, push that aside. Be brave. Ask the questions you need to ask. If you're getting estimates and quotes on your home repair, maybe you're replacing your driveway or something, right? You got to ask the questions. You got to say, okay, well, what does this mean on your estimate? And if they're talking in some industry terminology, you can say, what does that word mean? What is the thickness and what type of base coat, or I don't know, what type of material, what kind of concrete are you going to use? And even research that, ask the internet, watch some YouTube videos, educate yourself about what you're doing or what your goals are, what you're trying to do, so that you're more well-versed, okay? And this week, definitely speak up if anything at all in your life feels unfair. If anything feels, if you're feeling offended by something or it doesn't feel quite right, speak up, ask the questions. It could be that there's just a misunderstanding. It could be there's some information that we don't have yet. But research and read and seek the truth. Your mind is like a sponge right now, and it's going to soak up everything. If you direct it to the right information, it's going to learn those things very quickly. Some of you might be learning a new skill or researching other subjects and going down rabbit holes. Okay. But you protect your energy this week by being very honest and very clear. Okay. Don't argue just to argue. If you're going to argue, it should be for a higher understanding. We should go into it like a white belt, beginner mind, like a student. It's almost like we kind of, if it's a debate, it's like a healthy, honest debate where we're trying to reach a higher level, a transcendent sort of understanding of a subject. We're not just arguing because we like to hear ourselves talk, We're trying to grow in that way. Yeah. And information is power. Observe, learn, absorb, listen more than you speak. The truth is going to be a powerful thing for you this week. All right. Especially as it relates to whatever your goals are. Now, down beneath the surface, 8 of discs, prudence. So you're focusing on that skill or that craft or those careful details. This is whatever your goals are, research them, ask the questions, try to know, educate yourself as much as you can so that if you're dealing with other people, you'll understand what they're saying to you so that you don't get taken advantage of. Okay, you're getting a quote for the driveway repair or whatever it is, and you know what questions to ask. And you know, if your mechanic tries to sell you a bunch of blinker fluid, you'll say, I've heard that one before, So that sort of thing. Whatever your work is right now, whether it's a job or the tasks that you're involved with this week, patience, precision, and being very attentive to those details. No shortcuts. Quality matters. Speed doesn't matter. Quality matters. Whatever you're building in your life right now, take your time, do it right. And if you're not sure of something, ask the questions. Like if you're buying a new car or something, right? The salespeople are very pushy. They just kind of want to just hurry up and sign the papers so that they can cash their check and get on to the next person, yeah? And so don't let anybody rush you. Say, no, you know what? I'm not going to sign anything until you tell me what these line items are for. Okay? And if they're trying to rush, if they really want your business, they'll slow down and they'll explain things to you. Otherwise, you take your money somewhere else. Okay? So do not feel rushed. Don't take shortcuts. Don't feel pressured into just like, well, it's probably nothing, and I'll just sign, All right, it's probably nothing, here's my money. So be very cautious in that aspect, okay? I feel like you're really managing your resources very well right now, and resources can be time, effort, energy, money, space, okay? You're protecting those, yeah. So no shortcuts, quality. Managing those resources will also help you to prevent getting burned out or depleting your resources unnecessarily, whether that's time or effort, money or space, any of those things, okay? Small investments right now are going to pay off later, but they have to be cautious and wise, prudent investments of time, effort, energy, money, and or space. Small investments are going to pay off. I feel like a lot of those small investments are paying off now. I think a lot of good things are happening for you this week, and I think you can trace them back to those little things that you did last week or the week before, or even last year. Be very mindful, okay? Mindfulness is a really good part of this card for this week. To make your work really shine, the things that you're doing, pay attention to them, give them the attention that they deserve so that they don't feel rushed. Because you know what? Other people are going to notice, you're going to notice if things are rushed. Better to do them thoroughly. It's better to give them a little bit of extra attention than to move on to the next thing and kind of forget something or, leave something kind of unfinished, okay? Which is why my readings tend to go on for almost an hour sometimes. I don't want to rush through them in 15 minutes, done. I feel like this is too much information. The week is a long time. It's 7 days, 24 hours a day. What is that, an hour? I don't know how many hours that is, but it's a lot. I don't know what it's like, 1,500 or something, 1,600 hours. So it's a long time. So I feel like 40 minutes in a reading is not too bad, okay? Especially if it at least gives me a sense of thoroughness that I did my job here and talked about everything thoroughly, right? So mindfulness, same thing is applying to you in your life right now. On the flip side of that, though, Leo, we don't want the Eight of Swords to creep its head in too much either, because this is now, I'm giving everything too much attention that I'm not actually doing anything. So we got to be careful with that. We want very bold, confident actions, but that are attentive, responsible, and prudent. We don't want to feel rushed, nor do we want to feel paralyzed by thought. Okay, the Eight of Swords, and this is leaving your week, okay? I feel like this is last week, or this might still be present in your week. It's just something to be cautious against, okay? Too many options, maybe clouding your thinking. Too many screens, too much data coming in at once, too many conversations at once. So part of that Eight of Pentacles is just to give the important things the time, effort, energy, money, and space that they deserve, and say no to noise. Okay? So it's you're having dinner with your friends or something, you turn off your phone. You're not trying to listen to the conversation of the people on the other table, you know? You're just focusing on the people or the work that's right here that you need to be focusing on. Okay? Slowing down your breath, slowing down your body movements, slowing down your mind, right, is going to help your anxiety to be as minimal as possible right now. And that's sort of what this card can be, is some of that anxiety. So it's really just saying, this anxiety may even sort of promote a little bit of rushing or cutting of the corners. You know, when you're feeling kind of anxious, it's kind of like saying, well, I'm just going to hurry up and get through this so I can get to the other side of it. But I think the cards now are saying, let's just calm down that anxiety. Let's breathe and let's pay attention. Let's do things the right way, in a calm, attentive way. Okay? So don't let the anxiety, which really is just like, I want to hurry up and get to the goal, right? So I'm going to rush through the process. I'm going to rush through each step so I can get to the goal. Well, that goal's not going to be there if you're cutting corners and you're skipping steps and things like this. So by being very cautious and wise and deliberate in our actions, we're going to make sure we get to our goal. Okay? Because that Eight of Swords is sometimes that sort of feeling makes us want to rush. And also the overthinking aspect. Overthinking is a loop, right? It's a figure eight. And what we have to do is decide on what our next immediate, right now action needs to be, and do that. Okay? Don't get stuck in that overthinking loop where we're thinking too much about the future, and then we start getting anxious because we want to hurry up and get to that future, and so we start skipping steps here in the present. Okay? Don't let any kind of fear stop you from taking those small steps. Sometimes we overthink things that way. Sometimes we self-sabotage. Okay? Honor your needs. Okay? Honor what really needs to happen and set deadlines for yourself. But make sure that you do something the right way. And understand the relationship between deadlines and quality work. And what is you kind of have to, evaluate the weight of each of those factors. Things need to be done by a certain time, but they also need to be done well. Okay? And so in any given situation, you need to ask yourself, what's more important here? Getting it done on time or getting it done right? And maybe you have to push the deadline back. Okay? Maybe we need to minimize other things. We need to reduce the volume on the noise so that we can do the high quality work and still get it done on time. Okay? Declutter your mind right now. I think that a good way to let some of this past energy flow out into last week is to write things down, stay organized. Okay? And prioritize, give yourself a schedule, give yourself a list of priorities, give yourself the to-do list, and say, what's first on the to-do list? Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to be very attentive to that task, and I'm going to get it done. Simplifying things are really going to bring you a lot of peace right now. Okay? So this week is really that kind of steady progress toward your goals. And I think that it's all being really like regulated and enforced and controlled by your confident, fiery energy with this Two of Wands right here. It's a card of dominion. This is Mars in Aries. This is kind of like, we do want to just brute force it sometimes. We kind of feel a little bit of that brute force energy with the Two of Wands, but it's brute force that's sort of tempered by knowledge, wisdom, and prudence. Yeah. And so we have this very, very authoritative energy. You're really ready to take charge of your goals here. You're making bold choices. I feel like you need to trust your instincts. This feels to me like this is almost like the lever. right? Where your decisions, your choices, your confidence right now in this very measured and deliberate and thoughtful, mindful way, this is what's going to flip everything in your life right now. Okay? This is really going to change the trajectory, change the angle here. Yeah. And I feel like this is you like really wanting to do things your own way because you believe that your way is right. You believe that your way is gonna work. So you got to kind of know who you are. You got to know what you want, especially if we're dealing with resources, you're dealing with other people, especially if it's like someone's going to repair your driveway, someone's trying to sell you a car. You got to believe in your point of view. Yeah. But not to the point where you're just like, nope, I want 50% off the car. I'm not going to buy it. Nope, that's it. Because you're not, then they're going to say, well, sorry, go, like, leave the lot, you know. But you have to be very confident in yourself, you know. And I think you want things your way, and there are probably details that you're not willing to compromise on. You want the car, you're saying, well, I want the extended warranty. I'm not going to budge on that. I want, you know, I don't know, if you want a certain color or certain features, you want the Bluetooth in the radio or something. Like, those are things that you kind of want them that way, and if someone tries to sell you something that doesn't have that, you're going to say, that's not what I want. You know, so you're not easily influenced with this card. I feel like you know how you want things to look, how you want things to feel, the bubbles in the wallpaper and the fibers on the shag carpet. Like, you can see the color of the furniture. And no one's going to just persuade you to just take this one. This is what I have, just take this one. Because, you know, it's your money, it's your time, effort, energy, money, and space, right? So don't be impatient. Good things take time to build the right way. Don't be persuaded to accept the first version of things that comes along just because you want to hurry up and get done. So patience is really going to help you out right now. There's an opportunity here for a lot of you to lead, for a lot of you to sort of be in charge. Maybe this is you're walking into the car dealership with your whole family, and you're saying, let me take the lead here, okay? Because that's what you need to do. Other people are looking to you for direction. Maybe not in an official capacity, but people are going to notice how you're handling things or what your demeanor is, and they're going to take a cue from that. Okay, so whatever this week is about for you, keep that in mind as well. There may be some kind of a partnership. There is probably a decision on the table for you or something related to your goals that is going to need your confident choice, you know. You got to be courageous. You got to acknowledge your power, because you have a lot of power right now, and this is a power to really determine your fate, right? Determine the next sort of weeks and months of your life. I feel like this is really a hinge moment for a lot of you. Yeah, 3 of Pentacles in this future position. I'll try to speed things up. I'm not trying to cut corners, but I know you're busy, you got things to do. 3 of Pentacles is a card called work, and it may be a good time to collaborate with other people. It could be that some of you are doing business with others, with some kind of an institution or another company. There's some kind of business deals that are really happening this week. This is a card of hard work, and it's hard work that's paying off. Keep building, right? One brick at a time. This is either a project or a skill that really is starting to show results. It could be teamwork that is really starting to harmonize. I feel like everybody's working together very harmoniously. Another card too that's saying don't rush. Craftsmanship, right? It takes patience. You want to refine your skills. You want to do things the right way. You don't want to be known as somebody who cuts corners. You want to be known as somebody that will do the job right and honestly, but not slowly, you know. You go as fast as you can while maintaining the high level of quality, okay? And that's kind of the reputation that you're building for yourself. I think you are getting some kind of recognition for your reliable effort. You're someone that shows up on time and you do the right kind of work, high quality, and you probably meet your deadlines too. And I don't know if this is, again, school, at work, at home, in your art stuff, or your spiritual work even, or whatever it might be. Friendships, I don't know. Stay focused on the things that you can control. The Two of Wands is a card of control. So you can control how fast you work and what kind of quality and what kind of skills and what kind of results you get. You have a lot of control right now. Okay. I'm also feeling like some of you, this is like new job vibes. Okay. This could be that you are, your resume is really speaking for you. Okay. I think that if you are looking for the new job, if you are going after that, make sure that your resume really reflects who you've become, who you are now. Okay. So update that resume, because I'm getting some new job vibes for some of you now. And this might be part of that kind of, I don't know, a little bit of that negotiation that I was feeling. Yeah. Progress is going to grow for you this week through your discipline, your care, your mindfulness, your confidence, your assertiveness, and your humbleness, your ability to learn and listen. Let's not forget about the princess over here, okay? Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. And do me a favor, hit the like button. That'll really help to push this video out to everybody that needs to see it. All right? I thank you. They thank you too. All right? And let me know in the comments if this is resonating for you. All right? Let me know so far which of these cards really is kind of hitting the spot in your life. Okay? The Hermit is a very earthy card too, and it goes right along with all these other energies. Because the Hermit kind of has their nose to the grindstone. It's kind of like blocking out the noise. It's kind of like you've got that cloak of invisibility on. And you're blocking out the noise. And you're focusing on the work that really needs to be done. Okay? And so this is a card that's saying quiet time is going to help you. This week, make sure you spend some time with yourself to recharge. Think deeply and thoroughly about what you really want next, and what your point of view is, and what your decision, what your work, what your mindfulness is. So in order to figure out all of these cards over here, you really have to spend time quietly with the TV off, you know, in order to figure out what it is you want, what is your point of view. You want to do things your way. The Hermit is saying, okay, what is my way? What is it that I really want? The Ten of Pentacles. What is your vision of the future? Do you really want that Bluetooth radio? Is that one of your non-negotiables? So think deeply about what you really want. Don't be afraid of being alone. Okay? That sort of quiet time, that alone time helps you to hear your own wisdom. Good time for reading, learning, meditating to find the answers. Again, kind of listening more than we're talking. And when we do talk, people are going to listen. Because the words that are coming out of your mouth are going to be very deliberate, very intentional, and they're going to carry a lot of weight. Okay? And so I think listening is going to be a really good advantage for you. Okay? And for some of you, there might be an opportunity to help somebody just by being there and listening. Okay? So consider that as well. Stay off the social noise for a little while in order to gain clarity. Stillness right now is going to really lead to insights. Yeah. Now, the Six of Cups is all part of this because this is family, friends, loved ones. This is like your quality circle of people. It's your community. It's a card of pleasure. And it's in the position of your environment. Okay. I think that in some ways it's saying that if you go into this week with a really good attitude, you're going to get a good attitude back from the universe. Okay, it may be a card that's saying let's focus on friends. Okay, let's spend quality time with our people. Let's enjoy the simple joys and the familiar comforts of life in any way that we can. Maybe this is talking about the Halloween holiday. You know, maybe it's a good time for us just to enjoy that and have fun. And I feel like this time of year, as we get close to Halloween, I have a 5-year-old daughter, and we're getting close to Halloween for her. And, of course, she has some Halloween parties, and we're going to take her trick-or-treating, and she gets to dress up and all this good stuff. It kind of always, like, reminds me, every holiday does, reminds me of when I was a kid and what my childhood was like. You know, when I used to go trick-or-treating with my parents when I was little. I still remember, I think one of my first costumes was one of those plastic, like almost like a poncho, like a rain poncho costume of Darth Vader when I was like maybe like 4 or 5 years old, same age as my daughter. Costumes nowadays are way different than they were. It was just a plastic sheet that had like a printed face on it, you know. And anyway, so it kind of reminds me of that. It's a good time for that, for sort of like appreciating those moments, you know. I think in all of your relationships right now, honesty, curiosity, feeling safe, cherishing those relationships where intimacy can really grow, right? Where things feel comfortable. Kindness, kind gestures to people are going to really make a big difference. More than just giving gifts. It's like just giving somebody the gift of your attention. Of like being able to talk to them without your phone in your hand or something and just be like, you know, we're here and I enjoy your company. Yeah. Find time to play, to create, to laugh without the overthinking 8 of Swords. Okay. Open up your heart to happiness. If you have an opportunity to forgive somebody this week, do it. It's going to feel good to do it. Yeah. Don't get stuck in the past. Enjoy the right now. Like, for, you know, you can get nostalgic. I can see my daughter getting ready for Halloween, and I can think back when I was, you know, in front of the fireplace wearing my Darth Vader plastic sheet thing. And I can think about that for a few minutes. But let's remember to stay in the moment and create new memories. Create new memories. Okay? And you do that by enjoying the now. By being able to shut off the sort of work mind and enjoy just family, friends, loved ones, your pets, your plants, your people. Okay? Love right now for you feels easy. It feels real. Okay? Beautiful. Like I said, you have all the good cards. You have, you know, this is really, really good stuff. I feel like there's major news coming for a lot of you too with this Eon card. This is a doorway to the future. All right? This may be a big realization that's going to help some of you move on from the past or close the door on something that's been bothering you for a while. This is a card of awakening. And I think that this is sometimes noticing the signal under the noise and choosing that signal. Okay? This is a week where for some of you, the past is going to lose its hold on you. And you can start fresh and you can be free of something and you can see that all this earthy momentum is building, right? So for some of you, it kind of feels like there's either like an old debt that's being forgiven or paid off. There's some kind of business deal or some old thing, like something that might have been consuming your resources, time, effort, energy, money, or space, that's now gone. That's releasing, right? Releasing its hold on you. And I think that's going to be so maybe this is you're paying off the house, maybe you're paying off the car, maybe I don't know. But it's something that is, it could be an incoming abundance. It could be, especially with all these pentacles, it could be that you're seeing a lot of money coming in, and that's helping you to sort of close the door on maybe a period of scarcity. Okay. Speak your truth clearly this week. People are ready to hear it. For some of you, this is an energy for like finishing something, okay? Complete something that's unfinished so that you can begin the new thing, so that you can move on to the next phase. So in some ways, it's almost like there kind of is a deadline, but maybe it's one that you've been pushing back because you've been focusing on quality. So let's wrap it up. Let's get through that door, okay? For some of you, it feels like there's a second chance, almost like energy. Feels like some of you were overthinking, worried about something, experiencing some anxiety over something recently, last week. But I feel like now there's a door opening for you. Okay, so I feel like really good news. This is either maybe that new job vibe that I was feeling or the incoming financial abundance that's really going to help you to stabilize and and continue moving forward. Okay, kind of feels like a second chance energy here. There's change happening with this card. This is a doorway. Yeah. And I think that this is even some kind of maybe financial renewal. And we're talking finances. It could be health for some of you. It could be something, we're kind of getting the all clear from the doctor, Could be we're turning over a new leaf, we're walking through this, or we're shutting the door on a past issue, and we feel now just kind of renewed, refreshed, ready to go. Okay, so something has perhaps, for some of you, this could be getting the all clear, right? The clean bill of health. It could be that we're sort of getting the news that we've been cured of something, or, something along those lines, right? So with all the earth energy, I feel like that's really dominating the spread today. And so I feel like there is this surge of confidence and fire energy and a renewal of purpose, even that sense of purpose. Yeah. I feel like a lot of you are going to get some really, really good news this week that is going to clear something up from the past and give you that open door toward the future. Okay? And I think it's going to be a really big win. Now, our final card is the Prince of Pentacles. That is the builder. Very strong Taurus type of energy here. And this is somebody that shows up every day on time doing quality work. This is somebody that doesn't call in sick, has good attendance, isn't rushing, isn't cutting corners, but isn't going too slow either. Very steady, reliable. Okay, this is again someone focuses on discipline, not speed. Very good at organizing finances and scheduling and managing resources. Like I said, patient, thoughtful. Okay, and I feel like this is you. I feel like this is you into the foreseeable future, continuing with this very steady growth, builder, success, progress type of energy. Okay, stick with habits that are supporting your long-term goal. Make sure you balance your rest with your consistent effort. Persistence is your superpower. Yeah. And that's going to take you through that door into the foreseeable future where your finances are going to steadily build, your health is going to steadily build, whatever you're building in your life is going to steadily grow, okay? Let's look at our mystery card. What do we think this is going to be? Well, I think it's going to be Big Rock Candy Mountain. It's going to be either another 10 of Pentacles, a 10 of Cups, or the Empress, everybody's favorite, all right? But it might be your Leo Power card, the Strength card. If you have a prediction, please put it downstairs. Let's see what we have. Oh, the World. Oh, of course it's the World card. Yeah, because the World is like the bigger picture. And I think the World, well, for one thing, this is a card of completion. Okay, so I think that there is something that is being wrapped up for a lot of you out there. And it may feel like it's something from the past that has been lingering and hasn't quite been finished. It's now being finished. Something that's maybe been delayed. That door is now opening for you. Okay. Because the World card is a card of delays. It's a Saturn energy. And it's an Earth energy. And those two together sometimes are very slow. So it's kind of like you've been doing all this really good work and maybe starting to feel a little bit anxious. But the progress has been a little bit slow, right? And the thing is, the element of earth is the slowest moving element. Your fire, your water, your air, it's already done, finished, all the work. But the earth energy, we just have to wait for the earth energy to catch up. And that's why the Eight of Swords especially is that the mind, that sort of thinking where thoughts are coming too quickly. We got to slow the thoughts down because then we'll sync up with the actual earthy progress. And the mind rushes forward so much and then gets anxious because the earth energy is just like that turtle, right? It's just slow and steady building up because, again, the earth is the densest of the elements. It's going to move the slowest. For a lot of you, this is a long effort, that is finally bringing its reward. This week, celebrate how far you've come. Celebrate the completion or the achievement or the ending, the wrapping up of something. And celebrate the bigger picture. Celebrate what's coming next. To me, I feel like a lot of you are going to experience the removal of some sort of blockage or a boundary that's being lifted. The road is now opened up and you can cruise on through. Tie up any loose ends. Don't rush forward, okay? By the end of this year, your timeline is going to look a lot different, okay? But you got to begin right now. A new chapter is opening up for you. We see that Aeon card, this doorway. Yeah. There may be travel. I feel like there's a lot of recognition that's coming in. Share what you know, share what you've learned. Understand your role in the bigger picture of the universe, okay? And there's a fulfillment, and it's bringing new opportunities, it's bringing new beginnings, it's bringing an open doorway. Really, really good news coming in for you this week. And now we're going to do an extended reading, okay? We'll do an I Ching hexagram, we'll do some oracle cards. We will clarify love and money, we'll do the yes-no coin. There is a link in the corner here, there's a link right below the video, there's a join button on this side, you can't miss it. New readings for Leo Mondays and Thursdays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, I love you, and we're all in this together.